tablets everywhere. What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and you know, it's 2011. Tablets are becoming the big thing. The Apple iPad 2's out. The Motorola XOOM's out. First honeycomb Android-powered tablet, and it has a dual-core processor to boot. Then you have the iPad 2, dual-core processor as well. Has some revisions to the original, like a camera on the front, camera on the back as well, and some other improvements. Which one's the best? Alright, now that we've covered that, it's on to the Android market, and I'm not going to bore you and waste your time with talking about some of the apps, because honestly, if you've seen my Android versus iPhone videos or iOS in any way, you know what comes installed on these devices. This is all about covering the comparisons between similar things, like keyboards, markets, and in this case, the Android market versus the App Store. Here's what the Android market looks like on a tablet, on an actual honeycomb tablet. You can see some tremendous improvements over the typical App Store that comes on an Android phone. I mean, significant differences. And you remember on the Galaxy Tab, which was labeled obviously as a tablet, it still had the same marketplace. It looked like this. So, you know, not optimized by any means for a 10.1-inch display, but you know, this one clearly is, and you can see USA Today for tablet, for example. This is what it looks like when you're in an app screen. I can scroll through here, and again, this is one of those tablets making use of the space on the left. Download through US, or scroll down rather through USA, see the description, see what's new. Check some of the screens as examples. Let's see. See if it'll let me open that. Okay, I guess it won't. Reviews, I can see related, and I can click on more. And then when I'm ready to download, I click download. It's going to bring up that typical thing that Android does, which, you know, the permissions. Click OK. Waiting to install, and it'll give me some information. There, it also talks about how big it is and what version it is. So, you know, it's to me, it's very functional. Search market is up here. I can click on my apps. I can share. And then, of course, I have my settings up here in the top right-hand corner. So I want to search the market for Twitter, for example, while that's downloading. And you can see down here where it would be in the notifications bar, I can click here, and you can see USA Today for tablet is being downloaded. And sorry again, also while I'm thinking about it, I took away most of the light. So if this is too dark, let me know. But, you know, with all the lights on it, it was too bright. So you can see Twitter just loaded up. Android apps, 5006 results. And I have my Twitter, Skyfire web browser, for example, and I can scroll through and do the same thing. So, very functional App Store, significantly more functional than what was on the Samsung Galaxy Tab. But here is the industry leader, at least when it comes to overall ecosystems and app stores. Let's jump out of that and go into the App Store. We'll click on that. I was downloading Time Warner Cable TV. Let's go in, let's see. Okay, here we are. What's hot? And again, you know, simple, very easy to use. And I can scroll through, see what's here. So let's go to, for example, we can search for, let's say, Twitter. We'll do the same search. I'll search over here, and I can search for iPad applications, iPhone apps. Big difference as well comes in the inbox of both of these. Both of these are optimized, as I keep saying, for the tablet-sized screens, 9.7 inches in this case, in the iPad 2's case. You can see here's what iOS, what Mail looks like on the Apple iPad 2. Very functional, very clean, looks a lot like the iPhone. I keep saying that over and over again because literally everything looks just like the iPod Touch and the iPhone. So if you're coming from the iPhone, this might be a little bit too boring for you, but you can click Inbox up here, you can see your messages, you can search Inbox, and I can go to Blur Service, for example, and you can see when I turn it into landscape mode, that whole column is right over there. So very easy to use, and then just let's compose a new message. I'll click over here, and then it brings up kind of this separate window, if you will, yada, 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 you know, and I can compose from there. Cancel, we're going to delete that draft. So you can see it kind of opens up in these little individual menus as opposed to something like the iPhone where it pops up in the bottom, but still very similar. Then you have the Zoom with Gmail support, and you can see I just find this to be very clean and functional. And then when we go into portrait mode, I'll start there and show you. It actually keeps the stuff on the side. So I can see Inbox, I can compose up here, I can refresh. Here are my settings, and I can see, I can search, I can do a couple of different things. And then let's go to Inbox, my Outbox, my draft. So all, you know, all in all, just a very clean. We go to Blur Service, for example, and it just scrolls over and keeps those over here. And then when I scroll up, it keeps that header at the top, just like it does in Android 2.2 and 2.3 devices that have the new Gmail update. So I just find it very easy to use, and I think actually this is just as clean as iOS. So again, I'm going to have to declare it a tie here. And like I was saying, you know, they really do a good job for the most part with maximizing the amount of space on the screen. You see here I'm adding a new contact, and I can go to Bill, and I can see, and again, this looks just like iOS, but I can type in Bill Bill. I'll call him Bill. And then mobile, type in a mobile number. Very simple, and I hit done, and it's going to appear over here in this left-hand corner with all of the other contacts. On the Motorola Zoom, you can see, we'll go to the contacts on it as well. Let's see, contacts, there we go. And bring up those, and then you can see all of my Twitter contacts that are bringing up a Googler, for example, you see over here in the left-hand corner. And then you see the status updates and the nickname and some of the information about it. It's bringing up, as you can see, Phone Dog Aaron here. I can find contacts if I want to, search, or I can go to the settings as usual. Let's click out of that so we can go back. And then we can, I can scroll through here and see Alex, my news hound, for example, his latest Twitter update, his picture, and more. And then when I turn it in portrait mode, bam, that's what it looks like. So you can see very easy, scroll up and down, very easy to use from Best Buy Mobile, Barbie, AT&T, Ashley, etc., all the way up in portrait or in landscape mode. Very simple to use there. Now let's take a look. I downloaded some apps on this device, Twitter and TW, Time Warner Cable TV, so I could watch TV on it just to test it out. But we can take a look at some of the ones on this as well. I have CNN on here just to give you an idea of some of the examples of what a true tablet application looks like. And you can see last 24 hours it loads up, and you're going to see it's really optimized for this large screen. There we go, bam. So as it's loading, and again, this is all loading on 3G data, so it's not really a fair comparison, but you can see little boxes just like their site, kind of those little video boxes, but works out really well on a tablet. Looks like a great application, and it's free as well, so you can't beat that. And then you can go into individual areas like U.S. world politics, etc. So we see up and down like that. And then you look at something like a Twitter on, and I know these are comparing two different applications, but look at Twitter, for example, and you can see how it takes advantage of the larger display as well. So we'll scroll up, we'll find somebody, let's see. We'll scroll down through here and find one from Chris, for example, and you can see it brings up the tweet, and then it brings up actually a little bit of what he, if he tweets a link or somebody tweets a link, it brings up a preview down there. So you can scroll over, see those. So it's a nice kind of organized, clean look to it, and you can see over here I have the timeline mentions and more. So all these do a really great job of taking advantage of the 10.1-inch display. Now both of these, iMovie is available as a download on this, so you can edit movies. It's not nearly as functional as iMovie on a Mac, but you can still do it. So you can take movies from the camera on the back of this device, and you can edit those with iMovie. Now on this one, there is a program as well, and I'll show it to you. It's called Movie Studio. You can do movies as well on this one. You can do movies. You can do movies on this as well, and you can put those in the Movie Studio and edit. So again, you can tell that the Motorola Zoom was kind of going after the iPad 2 with that feature. Let's take a look at the cameras on both of these devices. Now Apple was kind of coy about what kind of cameras were on the iPad 2, but they did say the back one's capable of shooting 720p HD video. You can see photo booth, camera, and FaceTime here. We'll go into camera, so we can take a sample picture of this little thing, little bottle opener, and there we go. And I got Munich when I was traveling to Barcelona, so I take a picture, and you can see not the best quality in the world. Not really, it's decent, but there's no detail around the top. Now let's look at the Motorola Zoom's 5-megapixel camera. We'll load that up, bring it down here, and we'll turn it out, turn it reverse, and we'll get this one ready to go. So to me, the clear winner between those pictures, Motorola Zoom all the way, and then you have the front-facing camera on both of these as well. But the Zoom's camera, much, much better. Now that said, this brings the dogfight kind of to an end, and it pains me to say this because here's my thing. These are both very close. I think the Motorola Zoom, to me, honestly, is the better tablet. If I walked into a store today and had, an unlimited supply of money, I would probably, well, first of all, I'd probably buy both. But if I had to pick one, I would pick the Motorola Zoom. I think Honeycomb has developed enough to the point where it's very easy to use, very clean, very organized. They've really made some significant strides here. This would be the one I would go with. Now, that said, it is a heavier device, but I would still choose that. The iPad, though, I see the need for the iPad. I see the need for first-time users. It's kind of like the Honda Civic of the tablet industry. And then you have something that's a little bit, to me, a little bit better, a little bit higher end in some aspects, but it's a little bit harder to use. So people tend to shy away from it, whereas this is kind of the Honda Civic. It's known, iOS is known from the iPhone, from the iPod Touch, very easy to use. The transition time from, you know, somebody that uses an iPhone to this, very low. So I mean, I would have to give a narrow win, you know, in the dogfight to the iPad, just because I think this is the device that that more people, you know, demographic-wise, that more people would gravitate to, and this is the device I would recommend to more people just across the board. It's a great device, don't get me wrong. Absolutely fantastic, very lightweight. They've done a good job with it, even if the cameras aren't that great on the front or on the back. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage on both of these tablets, the iPad 2 and the Motorola XOOM. And like us on Facebook. We started our colossal iPad 2 and smartphone sweepstakes. It's at Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Head over there, like us to learn more, and follow me on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron. Thanks so much for watching. Hit me up, questions, comments, anything. Like I said, PhoneDog_Aaron. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.